Okay, let's get to some outside the ring stuff. There's an interview with Bryan Danielson that came out on the Sun Sport this week. And then yung pinaka kinwote na sinabi ni Bryan was him saying that his WrestleMania 30 match doesn't mean all that much to him. And people are upset about this. And even when Bryan explained more, sabi niya he was going through some pain issues at the time and he was about to get married that week. They wouldn't let si Brie Bella come out of the ring and celebrate with him for some reason. His sister and niece were there, and that's really it. But yeah, people are upset. Like I was reading in comments, people are saying that, oh, napaka ingrata naman ni Bryan. You know, like the yes movement got him to that point. Tapos parang wala siyang pake about that. So, kayo, what do you guys think about this?
Eto, walang play Nathan tonight, but eto. Fuck y'all. Jesus fucking Christ. Fuck you. Fuck you. And
wait, fuck who?
Fuck the fans who are clearly WWE only and are mad at him because he dared to say that WrestleMania 30 doesn't mean that much to him. Didn't even say it doesn't mean nothing. He just said did not mean as much to him as yung World Championship win niya in AEW, where again, Brie and Birdie were there to celebrate.
Even the son was there, si Buddy.
Yeah. So they were there to celebrate it with him. And immediately, people latched onto it because it essentially put the AEW moment above the WWE moment. And it's not even what he said. And he isn't even taking away what that win, his very first meaningful championship win. Doesn't even take anything away from what that means to all of us as fans. Like, if him saying that doesn't take away my feelings for that breakthrough moment in the Yes movement, diba? And people are saying that it is. Parang people are saying like, well, but ka pa namin sinuport after all that? Like, who cares?
We booed Rey Mysterio for you.
We booed Batista for you. Like, okay, so what? Parang he didn't say it wasn't important. He just said that, you know, the AEW moment was a better moment for him. Like, nobody's taking that away from you, man. Nobody is. If you really feel offended by well, first of all, it shouldn't even matter to you. Like, what his opinion is the most important thing about it. Kasi syempre, he was the guy in those moments. Like, his opinion should matter most. Like, if it does end up him talking shit about WWE, who cares? That's his prerogative. Who are we to? Sino ba tayo para apakan yung moment niya? Diba? So, I hate this sense of entitlement that Bryan is supposed to feel some sort of loyalty to WWE for following through on something that Vince took too long to pull the trigger on. By the way, it should be noted. Like, we didn't even know until that moment, until he got that final pin, WrestleMania 30, that it was gonna happen at all. Diba? So, leave the man alone. If you feel offended by his own opinion coming from his own experience in that moment, that's a you problem, and you need to deal with that your damn self. So, fuck you. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay ka na. You got it out of your system.
Damn, that's the original right there.
I'm gonna try to rationalize it from yung standpoint of the fan without, saying na I completely agree with what the ComSec is saying. Kasi ang sa akin, nakikita ko is maybe fans feel a bit betrayed because there was that genuine connection between the fans and Bryan, especially during the time of the Yes movement, right? So it was a very genuine connection that literally propelled Bryan to the top of the industry. And parang nakakapanghinayang. Like, I'm not gonna lie, even ako, like, taking my WWE commentator hat off here, like as a Bryan Danielson fan, medyo nakakadismaya din maramdaman na parang, it didn't mean a lot to him. Parang, because you feel that connection. No, wait. Let me finish first. You feel that connection with the wrestler you're supporting is genuine and that it was something that meant a lot to you. Therefore, it's something that meant a lot to them. Tapos parang to know na parang, hindi naman pala ganun kahalaga sa kanya. Parang, it's kind of sad. Kasi parang, okay, so that investment then, that emotional investment that as a fan that you put in, probably doesn't mean squat in the long run then. So nakakadismaya siya in that sense.
He didn't even say that. Like, he didn't even say, screw you guys for supporting me. Diba? He didn't say none of that. I think
No, he doesn't have to say it. He doesn't have to say those words. It's more of
then
the sentiment.
then it's a you problem if you feel that way. Jesus. No, I feel like I think if the AEW moment didn't happen, I don't think he would have to say that. Kasi yun nga, but what he said specifically was it didn't mean as much to him as the AEW World Championship win, diba?
I didn't even attach that context. Kasi ako,
No,
like when I read it, I read it just as the moment itself, yung WrestleMania 30, hindi siya ganun kahalaga sa kanya.
But that's
Period.
also what he
Like
said.
independent of like All In and AEW and everything.
But that's
Independent of that.
That's the important context, diba? He said that he compared WrestleMania 30 to AEW. Kasi yun nga, the kids were there. The family was there. So
So yun
I
talaga
think-
like it's a direct comparison is what you're saying.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying that if it didn't happen that way, I think he wouldn't have come out and said that.
So if it's a direct comparison, then parang like ako, I can't touch the man's feelings, diba? Parang kanya yun right? But ang sa akin lang is if it's independent of like the AEW sentiment, parang doon ako nalulungkot. It's just you from a fan's perspective, you put in all of that emotional investment and that connection with this guy who you really felt was being held down by whatever, by the system or whatever you feel is holding him back, diba? And then if this person who you literally got behind and whose t-shirts you bought and who you lost your voice for at the shows and stuff says na parang that moment really wasn't important to me. It's one of those glass shattering moments siguro as a fan na parang shit, sayang pala yung yung ininvest ko na emotion. Again, that's independent of that direct comparison.
I think that's also unfair to hold over Bryan. Because like for all we know, diba, like if he was unable to be happy, to be the most happy he could be at that time, who are we to impose on him? Because that's also his brain chemistry at work, diba?
Sure.
If you want to be happy, but you can't be for whatever reason, then I don't think that's your fault either. I think what's important then was that he never said that all of our support was meaningless. Diba? I feel like a lot of people are just attaching what they feel to what he said about that moment, and I don't think that's fair at all. Because unless he actually said "fuck y'all" and "fuck your feelings," I think that sentiment would be correct. But he never said that. He never said any of that. And I feel we can't also impose what a man's emotions are.
Here's the thing, kasi the way that you argued it is parang if you're a fan and you're looking at this, your emotions are invalid. So tangina mo, right? And like I draw a line there. Kasi I think that even as a fan, valid pa rin naman yung emotions mo because again, that's part of your connection with the wrestler and the wrestling industry as a whole, right? Where I draw the line is where people say na where people get all entitled na tangina mo wala ka palang utang na loob na kami yung dahilan kung ba't nandyan ka. For me that's what's out of bounds. But like if you're a fan and medyo nadismaya ka, sure, whatever, right? Like feelings mo yun diba? Yun yung connection mo kay Bryan, yun yung connection mo dun sa time of yung prime ni Bryan where you were so heavily invested as a fan. I think that's valid. Where it becomes invalid is when you say na may utang na loob ka sa amin.
Yes. That's what I'm railing about. That's what I'm railing against actually, because that's what I saw. That's what I saw a lot of. That's what I saw a lot of on social media. Kasi yun they equated the whole thing to parang nanghinayang sila na okay, ba't ka pa namin sinuport? Like, I mean, come on. Like, the guy is entitled to his feelings. Like, you are also entitled to your feelings, but your feelings are not above his feelings because it was him doing the whole thing. And he is entitled to feel whatever he wants to feel about the moment he was in.
Right.
It's the same comments I saw when Punk left WWE when fans were saying, "Oh, we bought your house." we bought your house, so like you're entitled to you're entitled to us or whatever. So, but yun yung comments I feel like Stan is like drawing the line that yung mga wala kang utang loob, walang ganyan, which I also saw. That's why I was finding myself agreeing with Bro kanina because those were the same comments that I saw over the past few days. But again, if Bryan felt that way, then as a Bryan fan, I all I can do is respect that, and that's what he felt. If he felt happier during a specific moment, then God bless him.
Ang sa akin is, I'm not gonna be the one to tell you na you shouldn't have an opinion or you shouldn't have any emotions, relative to these things at all. It's more of you have to temper them and you have to draw the line somewhere. Diba? Parang you can be free to have whatever opinion you want, but that opinion or that freedom also has its limits. It has its bounds.
I also
And
didn't.
we draw the
Sorry.
line somewhere.
I also just didn't like how people didn't actually properly understand the context of what he said.
Yun
Parang
pa, yeah.
They just latched onto like, okay, it didn't mean that much to me, which is also the fault of media for blowing up that particular part. Kasi syempre, if you blow that up without properly contextualizing it, it will look like rage bait. So that's also not fair to him and to everyone else.
Which is typical typical media, diba?
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age. Ganun talaga eh.
Yeah, that's why
And-
we're
and-
here.
Yeah, that's why we're here. Mhm.